Scott, that's jwildfire.com. Final Days Report, episode 111. What is going on in the Alaska skies? We're calling this Alaska vertical chemtrails. What are they covering up? Giant demonic orb. I've seen multiple orbs. Are they covering up Planet X like the dream I had where they're using chemtrails? Part of the purpose is to cover up Planet X in the incoming system and also those spiral gateways. Episode 111, my friends. Before we get into it, I had a dream this summer when gas prices were dirt cheap, that there were gangs stealing gasoline. Gas was king. Now, to be fair, my dream had these gas gangs stealing the gas from truckers, and then they were putting the gasoline and storing it in these rock formations that they carved out as storage facilities. It was pretty sophisticated. The government had a tough time going after them, and I could tell the government was weakened. I just thought this was interesting. Fuel bandits, gas thief gangs uses hidden device to steal $60,000 worth of fuel from pumps as prices soar. And the other dream I had this summer, and they've been going after the guns forever. I don't think this is that novel, but I saw Biden and these puppet masters and just massive false flags and a just massive rhetoric going after the guns. Right after I had this dream, Biden had the press conference where he was going after handguns. So that is back in the news again. But let's get into this vertical chemtrail. What are they covering up? I'm going to show pictures of it next. But first, let's talk about this orb. I'm going to play a video. This gentleman caught this orb with a tail. They say Planet X will have a tail in it. When this thing comes around, supposedly everything is just going to go wild. The weather is going to be insane, which is somewhat happening now. Now, my speculation is this is probably an orb, but I don't know. I'm scratching my head. I had a dream again that they're using chemtrails to cover up this Planet X system and spirals. Demonic. Let's listen. The excuse they give is hilarious. It's worse than the excuse on a couple podcasts ago. We did that lightning bolt that looked like coming down where they said that was a flare. This excuse is even more funny.
Fairbanks photographer Leslie Smallwood captured video of the luminous sphere on automated Aurora cameras before 5 a.m. Tuesday, March 29th.
And it seemed like it had something that was spinning inside it is when I zoomed in on it. And it's a small tail, whitish tail.
Smallwood says the foggy ball of light was far larger than a full moon and is seen on the video moving through the dark sky from the northeast to the southwest over a few minutes.
It's not like a shot across the sky. It was like taking its time.
Much too slow for it to be a meteor.
University of Alaska Fairbanks physics professor Mark Conde says video of the light ball was also recorded by a UAF all-sky camera in Gakona. Speaking last week, Conde said he wasn't sure what to attribute the phenomenon to, but noted that the orb appeared gaseous.
You know, a glowing cloud of gas that was sunlit would look like that.
I am very confident that what people saw was the dumping of fuel from a Chinese rocket stage.
Dumping of fuel for this orb. So it's either a demonic orb, again, I've seen orbs multiple times in my life. That testimony I gave when I was 18 years old, I was watching a witchcraft movie. I opened doors to demonic spirits, was not a Christian, was being choked out. It was being choked out in my dream so bad. When I woke up, my room was orange. First of all, I looked to see if there was light on, looked to see if there was light on outside, looked to see if the sun was shining in, and I just overslept, looking to see if it was the moon. Was perplexed as a demonic orb in my room. The only way I was able to get rid of this demonic experience was in the name of Jesus Christ. I should have become a Christian right then and there at 18 years old. God's been nudging me for a long, long time, my friend. So it's never too late for you. If you're not saved, get saved. This stuff is real. And then I've seen orbs in Cleveland, Ohio, when I was in my mid-20s. And then in Florida, and I went around in Florida, we were basically at this event, and it was a long event, and I started asking strangers, is that an orb? Is that an orb? Is that an orb? It's been there forever, did not move. And everybody's like, that is totally an orb. So I've seen orbs, and I'm not dismissing that this is not an orb. The tail threw me, and then the dream that I had where chemtrails are used to cover up the incoming Planet X system and spirals. And I'm sure they're meant to poison the ground, right? So only certain seed manufacturers can plant seeds. It's like they're trying to transform this earth for whatever nefarious reason. So that happened in the news. Then this shut up in the news, this vertical chemtrail. It's almost like they're trying to block the visual element of what's behind it. Usually chemtrails are not vertical in nature. They're horizontal to the ground. And so this was in the news again. Unbelievable. People thought maybe it was a missile coming in. They started calling the police. What is going on in Alaska, my friends? It's absolutely wild. So just a little bit more context to the orb. Scientists have solved the mystery of the spinning orb of bluish light that slowly streaked across the sky above Alaska last month, stealing the show from the famous Northern Lights. The unusual ball was most likely debris from a Chinese rocket passing overhead. It's just funny. How stupid do they think we are, right? It's almost like they need a cover story, right? Just like that lightning bolt, which I think they're testing out the Antichrist false prophets system to call fire down from the sky. That's kind of what that reminded me of, the podcast a couple weeks ago. But if you're not familiar with Planet X, check out some of the podcasts. I'll leave the link below. Is Planet X coming in? Is it real? 2 Planet X dreams, 170-year-old planets. And then obviously the one I just talked about with the dream of chemtrails covering up Planet X system and spirals, because it just looked like they got desperate and this thing is being seen. It's being seen, my friends. And so again, for my flat earth friends, Job 38:31, canst thou bind sweet influences of Pleiades or loose the bands of Orion? So God can loosen things and show things and give signs and wonders, even if this is a flat earth. Revelation 13:13, and he doeth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from the heaven on the earth in the sight of men. I'd mentioned that the last couple podcasts ago, that system, that streak of light that came down that people saw, I think it was in the Houston area, with the excuse of a flare from a factory. And that just looked wicked. And then just being a little repetitive, Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear. As this Planet X system comes in, everything's just going to be chaotic, right? It's just going to be this massive 2 magnetic poles coming together and just being disruptive. And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken. All right, let's end with this. I'm just working on myself. Faith without works is dead. Let's read a little James chapter 3. Who is a wise man that endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out good conversation of his works and meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envying and strife is, there's confusion and evil work. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy, good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. So I'm saying this because for my flat earth friends, a lot of flat earthers just can't stand Planet X. And I've not looked into the flat earth. Maybe I've watched a couple videos. I think there's some good points there. And also, I grew up in Michigan and live in the Chicago suburbs. I kid you not, I saw on the news years ago where the news showed this picture of somebody that was standing on the Michigan side taking a picture of the skyline of Chicago, and they said it was a mirage. And I remember myself, this is before flat earth even came out, this was years ago. I remember saying, that doesn't look like a mirage. That looks like it's just a perfect shot of the skyline. I remember saying that, and then all of a sudden, that seems to be a major argument for the flat earthers. It's like, there's no way this is a mirage. And I remember in my spirit saying, this is not a mirage. Now, it's hard for me to get my head around flat earth, I'm going to be honest. I really don't even care. I mean, the cover up is so deep with just the giants alone and the archaeology of the Bible. I know the Bible is 100% true. And just the Lord has been nudging me with Planet X coming in since I've been in grade school. I've just been having these doors open to me all throughout my entire life about this system. So again, the Lord can do whatever he wants. He can loosen the bands of Orion and put Orion right in front of your face. But at the end of the day, going back to Alaska, they're definitely trying to cover something up with vertical chemtrails, it appears, and giving massive psyops on fuel dumping from Chinese space stations for these massive orbs that are the size of the moon. I think it might be a little early for Planet X. One of my dreams I had with Planet X had these bubble cars that were driverless, driving around major cities with almost like these slanted light posts, but not too far off in the distance, but a while away out. But who knows? Time will tell. Time will tell, my friends. To get your house in order, get saved. If you're not saved, make sure that you're the salt and light of this earth, because read Isaiah 60. I think even though the times are super dark, we just need to be a light on this earth. Thank you for signing up for our newsletter. Visit us on Gab and Telegram if you're into just news articles. That's mostly what I post there with my little commentary. And then oftentimes, like these couple articles, I'll do podcasts on and give it a little bit deeper point of view. Wild times, my friends.